Ha! Bet you didn't expect me of all people to be here, did you? Okay, yeah, no, this window is foggy. It's not like the camera being blurry, I think. 2 years ago, I made a video showcasing one of the most impressive and fun language immersion Minecraft servers imaginable, Clongcraft, because I was very interested in learning how it worked and because they were in a bit of a lull in participation at the time and they needed a boost. So after my first video, they certainly gained a bunch of new members, as in their server's membership more than tripled after the video released. So as the leaders of the server and I found out that we were approaching the 2-year mark since that day, I decided I wanted to come back and see how things have developed since my first visit. Hey everybody, welcome to Nguh. If you haven't watched my original Clongcraft video, you definitely should. Like, after this, I guess? I don't know. Most of what I talked about is still very relevant, as it was my first ever time dropping into this world, but I'll still give a brief explanation now. Clongcraft is a Minecraft server that you join via the Clongcraft Discord server, which I'll link in the description. Once you join this Minecraft server, you are not allowed to use any language from the real world, written or spoken. Instead, you have to use a proximity-based voice chat mod and communicate with other players who exclusively speak a language developed entirely and vocally in the server.
Yo, Agma! Yo!
The language they speak is technically a conlang, I guess, as it was constructed, but the difference is that it essentially developed naturally and rapidly, entirely within the medium of Minecraft, as the language fundamentally cannot leave the Minecraft server. You're basically born into this Minecraft society and you're learning this language as if it's your first. And you're not allowed to write anything down, you're not allowed to create an orthography for the language, you're not even allowed to talk about the language outside of the server at all. This golden rule, known as no meta milk, keeps the development of the language entirely authentic to the server. It's pretty awesome. It's really crazy, honestly. I'm nowhere near fluent since I've only been on like a few times, but I can tell you, from my perspective, it seems like a lot of people truly are fluent at this point. Basically, going into this second video, I had a few main things that I wanted to learn after 2 years of a revitalized Clongcraft. Number 1, has the language changed faster or slower since the new people arrived in such quick succession? Obviously, I can't talk about the details of the language at all because no meta milk, but I wanted to simply notice the changes and ask the leadership about their opinions on the subject without crossing that line. Number 2, how has the culture of the server developed since my last visit? And number 3, what are the leaders looking forward to for the future of Clongcraft? So the first thing that I had to do was join the server again. Unfortunately, I hadn't really been able to play Clongcraft in a long time, mostly due to my limited crafting time and my busy life being dedicated to my own Minecraft server, which there's going to be a video about that too sometime soon. So my first re-entry into this Clongcraft world took place like a little over a year and a half after my previous entry. I had my secret notes from last time, but I really had no reason to believe that the language would even be recognizable at all this time later, with a mostly new player base and an increased player count. So I was expecting to be bewildered yet again upon my welcome, and I certainly was.
No.
Surprisingly, I immediately recognized a lot of the words, though the pronunciations were certainly different in some areas as compared to last time. I knew pretty quickly that the answer to my first question was that the language actually changed slower than I had expected. I can't talk about what I mean at all, but I'll just say that I was surprised at how much was similar or even the same in terms of the vocabulary. I'd go on to find out that there are now tons of new grammatical constructions and ways of talking about more abstract things and cultural phrases and jokes and references and all kinds of things, but at first this was all I had to go off of.
no yawa.
Ross, Dusi, Ossi, Osana.
ถ้าดูไทยเนี่ย it's a rap house.
Nu dem misra satle öjnenek esse.
Hello.
Hello, Agma.
Aha. Hello there.
Hello.
How is it going, Clongcraft gang? If you guys have all been around for varying different lengths of time, how from your experience, have you witnessed like changes in like the culture of like the server itself, and like how people teach the language, like have like maybe sound shifts in the language, etc. No meta, but like have you noticed like things
No
changing
meta.
at a faster rate, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have. The language and even the like server itself has changed like physically ever since I joined like a week after you made the video. It's almost like unrecognizable how much everything has changed to me.
Yeah, I agree as well. Without meta, often on the server, someone will be like, "Did you see this area or this building?" I was like, "I've never heard of this before in my life. What do you mean?" And they're like, "Oh, it's because it changes so much." And the same stuff's happening with like Flopper and newer members, being like, "Oh, you're new. You didn't get like all the past experiences I have on the server.
Yeah.
You haven't seen this XYZ that used to be here, or you know,
You didn't see the funny corner.
yeah, you
Pretty
didn't see
much.
all the secrets we have."
And even in the short time that I've been on the server, which is a few months now, not that long, I would say the way I was taught the language and the places in which I was taught may now be a little different for a new player coming in nowadays. So there always is this gradual change in how we do things.
I know it's very different from when I was there. Like Gigonio would know. Like I didn't even get to the area that I had seen, 2 years ago until like the end of the second session a couple of days ago. Yeah. So I mean,
There's just so
Gigonio
much there now.
knows for sure like the exponential expansion.
When regarding to change, it does change a lot because I like somewhere a few months ago to like a month ago, I had to take a pretty long hiatus because of school. Like it's a lot, and when I came back, I had to relearn a lot of things because
Oh God.
either I had forgotten them or they had changed beyond recognition. So
Yeah, so it's not just you. Yeah, I often like on the server, no matter. I often find myself talking to Gigonia. I'm like, wait, you don't know this thing that I say every single time I'm on the server? Like, I think everyone needs to know this word.
Oh God.
I talked about this when we were doing the discussion, the community discussion, before I was a moderator, is that in real life people die, and the way they speak just gets lost, and the new people is now the way to speak. But on the server, almost pretty much everyone who joins and stays active, their way of speaking is just immortalized because you're going to be speaking to them when you see them every day.
Yep.
And so it's kind of hard to get change going when the new people are learning from the old people, and those old people are not going away, because everyone wants to be able to speak to each other and they want to be able to be understood. So it's kind of harder to have an environment in which change is needed or change just happens.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess like over like a long scale of time, if like the entire cast of people who are active players gradually changes over time, then that evolution will happen. But you're less likely to see it, in real time as you go along in the short term.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that has happened with after your video. Obviously, there was a load of new people coming in and out, and there's been changes, obviously, as you said, but I think it's just not as noticeable because of how like engaged the community is. If they are a very frequent player, they're probably going to stay a frequent player, and so they're going to teach their way. But there has been change. It's just not as fast as in the timeline of a language in real life.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense in most ways. I mean, like, it is, the closest approximation, the closest, like, simulation that you could really get to just spontaneously creating a language. But, like, it is, in the chronology of linguistic development, still essentially like a pigeon that the same group of people is like trying to rapidly advance upon to come up with more and more complicated thoughts, I guess. Yeah, but but that does make sense. And if people have split off, because like I witnessed what I assume is just the direct 2 years newer version of what I experienced 2 years ago. But if people have started migrating off into different places, have they started changing how they speak at all? Or do you just not know because you guys are in the central area and are thus not talking to those people?
I've seen a few rare case instances of people going off, but I think it's simply the fact you need a lot of players to be able to do that. You need to have like enough people to do their own self-sustaining community. Because again, with the issue is, it's in Minecraft where if you need an item, you're just gonna go find someone in the server who has it already, or you're gonna, it's hard to be self-contained if there's not a lot of people. Like they have to establish new areas, do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But there have been like cases of divergence without being meta. But yeah.
Interesting.
Shauk, Shamispa, Shasau.
Oh, pilin.
Ba ogisi o film Rossha. Ba segue.
As for the culture now, there has been a veritable explosion in the overall complexity of the society in terms of not only its infrastructure, but the cultural sayings, again, the phrases, the jokes, religions with named gods and monsters and stories and prayers and traditions, and redstone constructions so complicated that I never even came close to being able to ask what they were or how they worked. From my perspective as someone engaged entirely within that world, who also knows nothing about redstone, by the way, it may as well have been magic to me, so I just kind of ran with it. But it was crazy. It was crazy. I witnessed like a live presentation of like a religious story being told, and we played games that had their own names for all the points and the actions and the scores and everything. It was insane. It was insane. Not talking about in the world itself, but in terms of like, I don't know, the membership, just like, well, what happened to the Discord server and the server's population, culture, etc. ever since the first video. That's kind of what I wanted to know.
That's kind of like a Gonyo question, probably, because I think most of us joined after the video was made.
I see.
Okay. So before the video, the server was kind of like almost dead. There weren't many people playing, if any. After, there was just like a giant explosion for, well, months actually. Nice. It's funny because every single time you uploaded a video, more people would come because they would just check out your channel and then they'd see the video and then from there they'd join. And ever since the server has actually been really active.
Doce, Misbargo, Dolamrufubar.
And as for the future of Clongcraft, I asked the leaders some of their current plans and ideas for the future. in the interview that I did with them a few weeks ago. Obviously, nobody can be specific about anything with me, but it's safe to say that they have lots of plans and are definitely looking forward to more newcomers if they decide to join after seeing this video.
I don't know either. I saw like a screenshot of your skin. I was like, wait, that's not the same skin I saw. What the hell? I'm in the screenshot. I should be seeing the same skin.
Oh god. I wonder what people will culturally remember my Minecraft skin as being, because it's literally like half and half whether people see my skin or not. It's crazy.
It'll be a legend. It'll be a legend.
You know, I think the half that see your skin as it really is might be the real clongers.
No
The
way.
real clong members.
You would have a fake clone.
There you go. It's like a chosen one kind of situation. Yeah. Any other major things that should be mentioned in the interview? Are you begging for more people to join again?
Always.
We kinda are.
Always. We will not rest till the entire world speaks Clong.
We need 2,000 members. We need 400 languages on the server. Nothing less.
The next 2B2T, but for linguistics.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's beautiful. Yes, so you heard that world. I don't know when this video would come out, but you heard that world. Join Clongcraft again. Do it. The more the merrier.
Quit.
Quit your job. Go on
Yeah.
Clongcraft.
Quit
Yeah.
everything else that you do.
I'd say that it's, you know, Clong isn't just this very interesting language, but I think it's a nice community. And I'd like to thank you for introducing me to the Clong community with your last video, Agma.
I really love this server. I put my whole heart and soul into it. I love this community. I see this as the second home. I'm on here like all the time I can. I'd love for our beautiful community to grow even more.
I guess I could make a comment about the Agma Schwa video again, even though I only joined back in September of last year, which is a good year and a bit after your video came out.
Yeah.
It was by pure chance. I saw someone recommend Clongcraft on some random comment section somewhere, and then I found your video. I watched it and I was like, yeah, I need to get in on this, you know? So I'd say I'm quite thankful for that chance, because it has led me here to a community where I have made quite a few very good friends. And it's not just a conlanging project. If you find people, you know, you enjoy hanging out with, it's sort of like a small club that you're part of. It's very niche in a good way, I think.
Just like everyone else said, it's a great community. It's a place you can make friends with similar interests, of course, with linguistics and stuff, and it's a great place to make like good friendships, you know, make connections with people you wouldn't otherwise talk to. Because,
Definitely.
Yeah, anyone can join, you know. It's you will start from the same base, join a Minecraft server, talk to people, and you can meet people you didn't think you'd be able to talk to. Just a great experience.
It's kind of funny because except Gigonyo, everyone in the active council members and the mod team has joined after and mostly because of your video.
Yeah,
So you kind of made
learned.
Clongcraft what it is right now. Did you talk about any plans of ours about making like sidekicks to Clongcraft? So like an Inklong hardcore series or a
we
Skyblock
didn't,
series, things like that.
No, you didn't talk about that.
There's no consensus yet, but my current favorite idea is getting a group of fluent Clong speakers who are also willing to like record themselves and edit the videos, put them on a Skyblock server, and just have sessions every week, make videos about it, and if the general Clong public wants to get featured, then they can be like a guest for a session.
Oh, like entirely spoken in Clong. There's like no context.
Yes,
just
like
like
everything
words
in
it.
Clong.
That
Well,
would be
the video
awesome.
title would be something like Clong Skyblock Episode 1, and then there would be a thumbnail with the actual in Clong title of what's going on in that episode. Another thing we should do is encourage like the Clong music production a bit more, so we have enough pieces to start a Spotify thingy.
That would be cool.
Go the Cloudboom? The Cloudboom, anyone?
Yes, the Cloudboom.
Cloudboom.
I was planning on doing a Clomic. A Clomic.
Comic.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Clong comic.
Yeah, like
Coincidence.
most of the actual production will be in Clong because we want to avoid meta as much as possible. But like, but like talking about the video editing software and scheduling, those can't really be done. So those will be forced to stay in English.
Yeah, Clongword, MP4, Clongword. DaVinci Resolve, Clongword.
imagine trying to describe the concept of an MP4 inside a made-up Minecraft.
Clongword, can you record your audio separate to your video? Clongword.
In conclusion, Clongcraft is still one of the most original, crazy, and brain power intensive things I've ever seen done on Minecraft. The link to their Discord server will be in the description of this video if you want to get started. Just like last time, it's not like I'm sponsored or anything. It's not like the Clongcraft people are any larger of an operation than just a few leaders keeping a dedicated server running anyway. I just really think this is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen done in Minecraft, and whether the Clong spoken in that world even counts as a conlang, or if it's actually more of like just a natural pigeon or something, is like honestly still up for debate in my opinion. Feel free to give me engagement about that in the comments below. I would totally play it more often, but again, I actually have my own Minecraft server on my Discord server, and that has been taking up quite a lot of my crafting time in recent history, especially while I'm trying to enjoy my time out here in the Basque Country to the fullest while it lasts. That Minecraft server, Clongcraft, is something that I will be talking about very soon in its own full-length video, so be prepared for that. I would totally be topical and say chicken jockey in Clong, but that would break the rules, so go join the server and learn how to say it yourself. And as usual, thanks so much to all of the ngatrons over on patreon.com/nga and the YouTube members who clicked that join button below. Your support has been immensely helpful in keeping my video production and inspiration going during my time in the Basque Country. There's lots more coming, lots of horrifying and cursed things, you might say, all coming down the pipeline gradually. My progress is a little hindered since I'm trying to enjoy the real world out there as much as possible while I still have time out here in Europe before I have to return to the sweltering heat of the Sonoran Desert in the middle of June. Not looking forward to that part. I mean, I'm looking forward to coming home, but I came to Spain when it was still about 105, 110 degrees in Arizona back in September. And then I have this like essentially what'll feel like a dream sequence out here in the Basque Country from October through June, and then I'm going to return to Arizona right back in the heat of the peak summer yet again, and that is just that part's a little tragic, I gotta admit. Arizona's not a wasteland. It's not a wasteland. It's a beautiful place. I love the Sonoran Desert so much, but man, missing out on that winter is it's a little tragic. At least I did something really freaking cool to make up for it. Anyway, I'll see you guys for the next video and the video after that. There's good stuff coming. Just you wait. And with that, Nga is out.
Okay, guys, who's playing Super Epstein?
No
We know
Super
who's
Epstein
playing.
in this movie. The only are there any super people in here? Bob was still alive. The jazz man. I guess the jazz man is just a sentient radio station.